We've all heard it, right? Save for a rainy day. But what if that advice, while it's not wrong, is missing the biggest part of the story? See, the real power of having cash on hand isn't just about surviving a crisis. It's a tool that can literally change how you think, how you act, and how you live. So today, let's uncover what that really means. Let's just start with a number that should honestly stop you in your tracks: 45%. That's the percentage of Americans who can't cover a simple $1,000 emergency. For almost half the country, that's the reality. Think about that. A single car repair that you didn't see coming, one unexpected medical bill. That's all it takes to have to swipe a credit card you can't pay off or ask family for a loan. It's a financial tightrope that millions of people are walking every single day. And that's exactly why the usual advice feels so incomplete. We're always told to save for emergencies like it's a purely defensive move. But the real secret, the real power of cash, isn't just about weathering the bad times. It's about unlocking a totally different life during the good times. To really get this, we have to start by looking at the hidden cost of living without that financial safety net. It's something researchers call the scarcity trap, and it's all about what happens inside your brain. So there was this groundbreaking research from Princeton and Harvard, and what they found is just mind-blowing. Financial stress doesn't just make you feel anxious, it actually measurably reduces your brain's ability to function. Your brain gets stuck in something called cognitive tunneling. It's a constant crisis mode, so focused on just surviving the next week that you literally lose the ability to think about long-term goals. I mean, how can you even begin to plan for retirement when you're just trying to figure out how to pay for groceries? And the difference this makes is just night and day. A brain that's bogged down by scarcity is trapped. It's always in crisis mode. But a brain with that cash cushion, it's freed up. When that constant low-level hum of money anxiety finally disappears, it liberates so much mental energy. Energy you can now use for strategic thinking, for creative problem solving, for actually building the future that you want. So, how does this all translate into the real world? Well, that freed up mental space becomes real, tangible leverage in almost every part of your life. Let's just talk about your career for a second. The average length of time someone is unemployed in the US is about 23 weeks. That's almost 6 months. Now, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, that number is, well, it's absolutely terrifying. And this leads us to the classic tale of two employees. Same exact skills, applying for the same job. But the one with savings can negotiate with confidence. They can push for what they're actually worth because they know, deep down, they can afford to walk away if the offer isn't right. The person without savings, they're operating from a place of fear. They take the first offer, they settle for less. And over a 30-year career, that difference can literally add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But this leverage, it goes way beyond your job. Check this out. Researchers at UC San Diego found that all cash homebuyers get a pretty big discount. And that discount has more than doubled in just a few years. It's now sitting at 9%. Why? Because sellers love the speed and the certainty that a cash offer brings to the table. So what does a 9% discount actually mean in dollars and cents? Well, on the median US home, that's a savings of $37,000. Think about that. That's not a coupon. That's the premium that other people are paying because of the uncertainty of getting a mortgage. Cash is leverage. You know, the financial penalty for not having cash can be even more direct than that. It's often called a poverty premium, and it's basically this hidden tax on being broke, where the less money you have, the more you actually end up paying for the exact same things. And this premium just pops up everywhere. You can't buy in bulk at the store, so you pay more per roll of paper towels. You pay your car insurance monthly instead of annually, so you get hit with higher rates. A small rattle in your car turns into a catastrophic breakdown because you couldn't afford the maintenance. You might even miss out on free money, like your company's 401k match, just because you can't afford to contribute. Each one of these things adds up to thousands of dollars a year, gone, simply for not having cash on hand. And this brings us to the biggest mindset shift of all. Your cash fund is not just about protecting you from the bad stuff, it's about empowering you to jump on the good stuff. It's time to move from playing defense to playing offense. Because let's be real, life's best opportunities almost never arrive on a convenient schedule, do they? When the stock market has a major dip, people with cash can buy in at a huge discount. When a great business idea or a real estate deal pops up, they can act. They can afford to go back to school to get a new skill, or finally leave that toxic job. Without cash, these moments aren't really options, are they? They're just frustrations you have to watch pass you by. And this, right here, is the core idea.
A cash reserve is the ultimate tool for turning life's unpredictable moments, both the good and the bad, into a set of choices that you get to control.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually build this thing? Let's walk through the practical, no-nonsense steps to creating your own cash cushion. But first, let's just clear something up. You'll hear some people call cash sitting in a savings account lazy money. And honestly, they are completely missing the point. This fund is not an investment vehicle. It's not supposed to get you maximum growth. It's your financial foundation. Its only job is to be stable, to be available, and to always be there. The process is really simple, but every single step is crucial. First, you need a target. Calculate 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. Give yourself a number to aim for. Next, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable, you have to automate it. Set up a reoccurring transfer from your checking to your savings so it grows without you even thinking about it. Third, make that money work for you, at least a little. Put it in a high-yield savings account. Then, a great psychological trick. Add friction. Keep this money in a separate bank, one that's not linked to your debit card. It just makes it a little harder to spend impulsively. And finally, you have to define what an emergency actually means to you. This is what keeps the fund from getting drained by things that are just inconvenient, not true emergencies. Building this fund happens in phases, and each one unlocks a whole new level of freedom. Your first goal is just to stop the bleeding. Get that first $1,000 or $2,000 saved up. From there, you build a real buffer, 3 months of expenses. At this point, yeah, a job loss is still stressful, but it's not a catastrophe. And finally, when you hit 6 months or more, you reach what I'd call genuine security. This is where the psychology really shifts and you start making all your decisions from a position of strength.
So when you put it all together, what this really means is that your cash cushion is so much more than an insurance policy. It is your permission slip. It's permission to stop living defensively, just reacting to whatever life throws at you. It gives you permission to start living strategically, to plan your moves, and to build the life you actually want.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. The real power of cash is the power of choice. So the question isn't just about saving money, it's about what you're going to do with that freedom. When you finally operate from a place of choice instead of scarcity, what choices will you make?